Hello. Stand up if you've ever been walking on the street and seen a dog. Alan, stand up. This is a trick question. You should all be standing up. Okay, now take a stretch. Okay, now sit back down. Stand up if you've ever been walking on the street and seen a dog in a really cute outfit. Okay, sit back down. Okay, one more question. Stand up if you've ever seen the Queen's dog dressed up as a little guard with a really cute hat on. No. Oh, I forgot to change the slides. Sorry, forgot to change the slides. Okay. People love dressing up their dogs. For example, The Rock dressed up as Popeyes and his dog dressed up in a little cute purple octopus costume. Or Simon Cowell dressed up dressing up his dogs in the UK flag. Hello, my name is Arabelle, and I'm here to talk to you about doggy dress-up and my adventures in making dog clothing. Why did I choose this project? I chose this project because since I was a little kid, I've always loved dogs. When I was born, my family had a dog named Picasso. He was a blue heeler. We always went on walks together, and his favorite place to go was Skookumchuck, the hot springs. Picasso died when he was 14 years old because he got into a fight with a raccoon. They think it was so much stress for him that he had a stroke. When I was 9 years old, my family got a dog named Pablo. Get it? Pablo Picasso? We got Pablo when he was 10 weeks old. He's a rescue from Todos Santos, a place in Mexico. Pablo is now a 5-year-old, playful, active dog who loves to go for runs and walks. When I thought about my Masterworks and what I wanted to do, I decided I wanted to include Pablo. Today I'll be talking to you about the history of dog clothing, the pet costume industry. I will also talk to you about what I learned to do this year, which includes making human and dog clothing. The history of dog clothing has some pretty interesting facts. It goes way, way back all the way to the ancient Egyptians. It all started when archaeologists found a mummified dog in a collar in a tomb, or with the collar in a tomb, sorry. Does anyone want to guess how old the collar is? Bay? Or Bowen, sorry.
2,000, 3,000?
Amaya?
Like 1,100.
They estimate the collar was made around 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. There's evidence from ancient Egypt that people used collars on their dogs to train them. An archaeologist found a collar on a dog named Tantanui. Tantanui's breed is called a Baladi, which is similar to a greyhound. Oh, I forgot to click the slide. A greyhound. They know his name because it was on the collar, which was made out of leather. It was common for dogs to be buried with their owners in the tomb. Dogs were very important to the pharaohs, and because of this, they were part of a security system for rulers. At some point, the ancient Egyptians started making brass collars for the dogs. If the dogs were special, they would even put expensive gems on the collars to signify royalty and status. The Renaissance is the next part of history that I'll be talking to you about today. The Renaissance was from the 14th century to the 17th century. The Renaissance began in Italy, the birth of the Roman Empire. The Renaissance was very famous for its paintings like the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and the Birth of Venus. During this time, decorative dog collars started gaining popularity, and royal people started owning dogs. These dogs were considered important members to families with special status. King Louis XI, who was the King of France, had a dog named Hubert Hound. His breed was a bloodhound. He often wore gold-plated collars decorated with rubies. Fun fact, King Louis XI would hold the leash in the left hand when walking because he needed the right hand free in case of an enemy came up and attacked him. The next era that I'll be talking about is the Victorian times. Who here knows when the Victorian era started? Bowen?
I want to say 1820s, 1810s.
Pretty close. The Victorian era started in 1837 and ended in 1901, starting when Queen Victoria was born and ending when she died. During this time, owning pets gained popularity with people beyond the rich and royal, including the middle-class people as well. On Queen Victoria's 17th birthday, she was given her first dog, a King Charles Spaniel named Dash. From the moment Queen Victoria saw Dash, she fell in love with him. Fun fact, Queen Victoria had 88 dogs in her lifetime. Her favorite types of dogs were wrong side. Her favorite types of dogs were dachshunds, collies, and pugs. This era brought change to how pets were treated, and they were considered an important part of the family and not just another animal to help out on the farm and go hunting with. Many people owned dogs as pets. Queen Victoria was not only known for being the queen, but she was also known for starting many trends in Great Britain, including dressing up dogs. She was also known for putting jackets on her dogs. This is a real photo of Queen Victoria with her her collie named Sharp. Queen Victoria would spend a lot of money on her dogs. She was the founder of what became the modern pet industry today. The global pet industry in 2019 was $6.9 billion. What happens when you combine people's love for pets and the fashion industry? You get the pet fashion industry. The pet fashion industry in the US alone is $5 billion in 2021 and is expected to reach $9 billion by 2030. The trend of dressing up pets in everyday life or for special occasions has not slowed down since the Victorian era. In modern life, pets are more important than ever. People love dressing them up. Can you guess what percentage of people have pets in Canada? Yeah, you. Liam? Okay. Close. Alone in Canada, 61% of people have pets and 33% of people have dogs. Pets are big business in Canada. Another huge industry is the fashion industry. It is only growing by the minute. Or the people fashion industry. It is only growing by the minute. The Canadian fashion industry is $34 billion a year. In the 1950s, the paparazzi started taking pictures of famous actors and famous people. Many magazines only focused on pictures of celebrities living their life. The paparazzi often took photos of celebrities taking their dogs for walks, so these dogs got a lot of attention. This led to celebrities' dogs being the focus on, their owners wanting them to look stylish. The 2000s was an era where wearing designer clothing continued to be popular, and celebrities were often seen wearing these fashions. They also wanted their dogs to look stylish, so this became the era for designer dog clothing. You would see dogs dressed up in Gucci hoodies or Louis Vuitton collars. Never had seen before dog clothing been this expensive. Okay. In 2024, there are more pets in households than kids. 84.6 million pets compared to 52.8 million kids. These days, people are owning more pets than ever. Over 70% of Americans own some sort of pet, and millennials are the age group that like to own pets. Millennials are the age group from 24 to 40, and an estimate 35% of millennials own a pet. Over 80% of millennials say they frequently worry about their pets when they are apart, even when running short errands. Over 70% say they would be willing to take a pay cut if they could bring their pet to work every day. And 65% being separated from their pet for a week would be worse than going without their There we go. It'd be worse than going without their cell phones. Pets are very important to millennials, and they like to spend a lot of money on their pets. Over 51%. Pets are very important to millennials, and they like to spend a lot of money on their pets. Over 51% of millennials buy their pets presents on holidays and birthdays. 83% of millennials like to buy their pets items, including pet t-shirts, clothing with pet images, pet mugs, cups, door signs, welcome mats, and calendars. 31 million Americans dress up their pet for Halloween or in Halloween costumes. The most popular costumes are ghosts, painted, hot dog, bats, and bumblebees. Millennials are the age group most likely to dress up their pets for Halloween. Okay. There are even whole bakeries selling treats, and many online stores dedicated to selling pet products, toys, accessories, clothing. Millennials love their pets and contribute to the change in pet history, or the history every single day. Once it may have been considered strange to dress up your dog, but now it is normal and becoming increasingly popular. You might think that dressing up your pet is cruel, but the only way it is cruel is if you dress them up incorrectly. If you dress them up carefully, dressing up your pet is not cruel. Dressing up your pet could be a good thing because you get to spend more precious moments with your dog. As a pet owner, it is important to know look for signs of when your pet is uncomfortable. Okay, some signs. Some dogs can get stressed extremely easily. A few ways of telling when your dog is stressed. Some signs are when they start licking or grooming themselves a lot, sitting and laying down and not moving, and yawning or panting nonstop. Of course, these actions can be related to things such as having an allergic reaction, but if you're putting on clothes on your pet and they're showing these signs, you must stop. There are ways to safely dress up, that you can safely dress up your dog and make it fun for them and you. It is important to make sure that your pet can go to the bathroom, drink, sleep without having any issues while wearing the costume. If they seem worried about putting the clothing on, you can gradually lead them up to wearing the costume for long periods of time. You can also just start with just a few items like some boots, then maybe a hat, and so on. It is important to ensure that your dog doesn't overheat in the hot months. You have to make sure any costume they wear is flowy, light. It is also important that the costume you're putting on does not restrict the animal from moving their legs, or their ears, or their legs. If a pet costume is too tight, it can rub and give them rashes. When dressing up your pet, make sure to always keep them safe and do not put a costume on them if they're showing signs of stress. So far in this presentation, no, I'm on the wrong side, whatever. So far in this presentation, I've talked about the history. I've also discussed the importance of modern pets and people, and how modern people purchase fashion and pet products. Oh, this is supposed to be that slide. Pet costumes have been around since the ancient times, and dressing up your pet is getting more popular. Dressing up your pet is getting more popularly. There are pros and cons to this trend. A positive outcome to this trend is people get to spend more time with their pets, but a downside is it can be stressful. It'll be interesting to see if dog costumes get more or less popular in the future. From a young age, I've always had a personal interest in making clothing. In grade 7, I started making costumes out of outfits started making outfits for myself by hand stitching them together. It took a long time. At first, the first costume I made was in grade 7, cut out of 2 onesies and some old clothes, which I hand stitched together. I did not know how to use a sewing machine, so I'd hand stitch them together. At this point, I've never made dog costumes. In order to make a dog costume, I needed to learn how to sew, take measurements, look at patterns. I wanted to make a costume for my dog Pablo and maybe one for myself. First, I needed to come up with a few ideas and learn the basics of sewing. I will now talk you through the process of how I learned how to sew, make costumes for Pablo, myself, and my niece Jordan. At the beginning of this year, I did not know how to sew, so my aunt from Whistler came down to my house and taught me how to sew. It took over 3 hours to understand how the machine worked, and that day I broke a needle or two, but I learned a lot from my aunt. My aunt was very patient with me. I went over to Denise's place, my external advisor for Masterworks. Denise sews for a living. She has a sewing studio and a shop inside of her studio that sells materials and clothes she has made. She looked at my machine, and my machine needed a tune-up, so she recommended me to get someone to look at it. The first time I visited her, she helped me measure Pablo, and the rest of the time that I was there, she showed me around what clothing she's made for dogs and humans, including rain jackets for dogs and bean bags for like humans and whatever, and a lot more. Denise hosted a 3-week sewing class. In this class, I made 3D triangle bean bags, a pencil case, and on the last week, I made 2 bags. There were supposed to be 2 other girls there, but they had COVID, so they were not able to make it. She invited one more person, and both of us got a lot of personal attention. This is when I learned a lot of the basics, such as how to put a button on, sew a zipper, and make a hem and take measurements. Here's a picture of some cards I made. The cards were made out of cardstock and scrap pieces of fabric. It was cool to sew with paper. I gave these away as presents. The beanbags were definitely interesting to make because I had to sew them, then I had to stuff them, and then I had to stitch or hand stitch them in the end. They looked good, but the hand stitching made it look a little interesting. I made 2 bags and 2 pencil cases. They were fun to make. They were also made out of scrap pieces of material. Okay, so here's like the beanbags, the triangle beanbag thingies I made. Oh, sorry. Here are the triangle beanbag thingies I made. Yep. Here are the pencil cases that I made. And then here are the 2 bags I made, and then I made one on my free time.
Hold them up more.
Okay, free time. Made this bag there. Yeah. Okay, where am I? Here. Okay. One Saturday morning while I was not at Denise's studio, me and my mom went to Michael's and got some fabric. I saw a pattern to make a baby onesie while I was there, and saw a pattern to make a baby onesie when I was there, and I decided to get the pattern. Make something cute for my niece Jordan. This was the first sewing project I made, and I made a lot of mistakes. I almost sewed the hem to the drawstring so narrow that I almost sewed it closed. I had to fix it, and it all worked out in the end. After this, I was excited to do another project. Again, we went to Michael's and bought some fabric. The fabric was white, so I tied it to different shades of green. I used the twisting method to get the pattern I wanted. After tie-dyeing it green, I made another onesie for my niece Jordan. This was the first outfit, or this was my second outfit, and it turned out a lot better. Okay. Yeah, so I don't have the first one because I kind of gave it to her, but here's the second one I made. Yeah. After successfully making 2 baby onesies, I decided to make a pair of pants for myself. I bought a pattern for a pair of pants and used the tie-dye green material. Yeah. The measurements for the pants were not too great. Too short in some places, too tight in other places, too loose in other places, and yeah. The waistband was also kind of slanted. After that, I wanted to make a better pair of pants. So I used the same pattern and modified it, fixed all the problems, tried a new stitching, and this turned out a lot better. But the one problem was, pants were kind of see-through. With these changes, I made a final pair out of cozy fleece material. They were a little too large, but all the previous problems were gone. It was just the waist was huge. Okay, so here's the first ones I made with yeah. And here's for the second. They're kind of see through them. Yep. And then here's the last one I made, but yeah. Okay. The first outfit I made for Pablo was to twin with the first outfit that I made for Jordan. So I used a soft material with removable legs to detach or attach with Velcro. But I like this outfit, but there's 2 big problems with it. But there's 2 big problems with it. First, when Pablo walked, the Velcro at the joint, of his leg, would like to fall off. Yeah, and then the second problem was that the scratchy side of the Velcro was rubbing against the inside of his fur. Oh, sorry, oopsies. Yeah, that's that. Oh, wait, no, that's that, sorry, yeah. We're rubbing against the inside of his fur. I need to put the scratchy side on the other side, but these are things you don't really worry about, but yeah. Okay. Sorry, why am I changing? Okay. I was inspired to make another outfit for Pablo, but I wanted this one to be a little more formal. I had some extra fabric that I got at the thrift, or that I purchased. I had some fabric that I purchased at the thrift store for $7. The pattern was the same as the last outfit, and I added buttons to this to make it more fancy. There was a Velcro opening at the neck to keep the costume on, and there was elastic on the belly, so it kept it on too. This costume is pretty easy. Okay, so here's the first one I made to twin with Jordan, because that one has. Oh wait, I didn't bring it. Kind of yeah. And then Pablo, you want to come here? Pablo, come here. You want a treat? Pablo, come here. You want a treat? Come here. Okay, sit. Good boy. Okay, so this is the outfit I made. There's this. Pablo, come here. So there's this at the neck, and then there's this belly part.
Can you stop clapping? Can you start?
Oh, sorry.
Arabelle, stop clapping so we can hear what she's saying.
Okay, so this is yep, and that's like that. So Pablo, hey, Pablo, you want a treat? Oh, Pablo. Pablo, come here. You want a treat? Come here. Yeah. Okay, sit. Good boy. Okay. Okay, so it's there, and then, you want to put your head over? Oh, wait. Hold on, how did I put this on the first time? There There we go. Yeah, there we go. Hey, Pablo. 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 Pablo, come here. Yeah. Come here. Here he is. Yeah. I know. Come here. Come here. There he is. Yep. Yeah, there he is. Okay. You can call him back, Mom. There you go. Okay. Yep, that outfit. Okay. After making that for Pablo, I had some extra fabric, so I thought I should make a dress for myself. I left the dress in my backpack. Can I go get that? Or should I?
Why don't we bring it out at the end?
Okay. After making that outfit for Pablo, I had some extra fabric, so I thought I should make a dress for myself. I made this dress using my my own pattern to make up this dress. I used a plastic tablecloth to cut out the pattern. It turned out well, but one of the big mistakes was the inside. I didn't hem it, so it started to fray. The dress was also super tight to get on and off. So if I would make another dress, I'd put a zipper on the back of it to make it easier. Yeah, I forgot the dress in my bag. I was motivated to try to make another dress with a zipper, so it would be easier to put on it, or it would be easier and not as tight. At the beginning of this year, I got some fabric from the thrift store. I really liked it, so one day I thought, oh, maybe I should make a dress out of this. I made a new pattern using the fabric, or using, I made a new pattern, and then I used the fabric. The zipper on the back was challenging because I did not have a zipper fit for my sewing machine. It turned out well, but it was a little crooked. Yeah, here's the dress. This is the second one. It was also kind of see-through because it's yeah. Here's the second one I made. Oh yeah, there's the zipper. Yep. Okay. To summarize my Masterworks project up, I have learned so much about the history of dog fashion. I have also learned a lot about sewing. With each project I've made mistakes, and those mistakes have taught me so much. Denise, my external advisor, has taught me a lot, including to take measurements, sew different types of stitches, buttonholes, zippers, and zippers. I really appreciate what I've learned to do this year in my Masterworks, and I'll keep on sewing and designing. I realized after this project I prefer making human clothing, and I find it more interesting and entertaining to make clothes for myself and others. I love spending time with Pablo, but I just don't think I'm going to dress him up as much anymore. Oh, there, yeah. And then thank yous. Thank you to Denise for helping me learn sewing languages and how to sew. Thank you to thank you to my aunt for teaching me how to sew in the basics and stuff, but Denise taught me more, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Thank you to Amanda for helping me write my essay and keep me on track. Thank you to Pablo for always letting me put clothes on him. Thank you to Jen for helping me with any questions I had and running the whole Masterworks thing. Thank you for my parents for helping me write this essay and driving me to Denise's classes. Thank you to my brother for letting me put the onesie on his kid Jordan. And thank you all for listening to my presentation.
During the question period, I'll get Charlotte to go get the dress, okay?
Okay. It's yellow. Nope. Yes, she knows from Vegas. It's in the back pocket. Yeah, it's in my locker, the back pocket. It's yellow. Okay, questions.
Mr. Shea, that was great. I love that you started with this passion for creating dog costumes, and then it just crept into creating things for yourself. And then there was matching outfits. I thought that was really a nice evolution of the project. So, Mr. Shea, you've learned lots of skills. You've shown us all the skills that you've learned, and you've done an excellent job. So, to questions from the floor, we're going to start with your advisors.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Shea. That was fantastic. And you have done a
phenomenal job this year. You constantly surprise me. You show up at school and say, "Oh look, I made this," and we were just in the beginning where I thought you were learning to use a sewing machine, like thread a needle in it, and you produced a onesie, or you hot glued this together. You're an incredibly innovative designer, and you constantly would bring things and do different things. You took this Masterworks on a whole different way, like I made a dress and I did this, and every day I was surprised with what you were going to tell me. So fantastic job. My question for you is, you decided you don't really want to do pet clothing anymore. Where are you going to take this? Where are you going to use these skills now?
Okay, so like I like designing like human clothing more, so I don't know, maybe like in the future I'll keep on designing human clothing. Who knows, maybe I'll go to something like, I don't know, like
And
designing.
you like making it mainly for yourself, or you?
Well, no,
other people?
it's just easier to make human clothing, it's like funner, and yeah.
Right. So are you gonna stay learning more sewing and making?
Probably, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
And I have a question from Denise, who is not able to be here but is watching online. And she said, so what skills do you think you still need to learn if you were to pursue dog costumes as a business? So you're not going to do that, but what would you need to know if you were going to do that?
Maybe just a little more about like the sewing machine and stuff and like different types of stitches. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, like, sorry, I should say I don't know.
How hard was it to measure a dog? Like, how do you figure that out?
Well, Pablo's quite easy to measure because he's quite a calm dog, but I bet with some like hyper dog it would be quite difficult to measure. Oh yeah, there's the dress.
Awesome, and I would like you to show this dress because it
Okay.
is a beautiful dress and it's got a fancy straps and a...
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like this kind of, and then there's like, I put the straps in the inside of it kind of thing. It's like that. It's hard, yeah, it's like that,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Okay, sorry.
Let me just snap this here, so
Yeah, it's like-
people can see it because it's really nice.
Yeah, it like folds down.
Is matching outfit
Get there.
and someone with a camera. Hello, can you come up with your matching outfit?
I have treats.
Okay, so get him to sit.
Sit! Or other way?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
And hold that up to yourself.
Okay, do you want a treat? Okay, there you go. Pablo. Pablo, sit. Hey, come here.
Dad.
Pablo, come here.
Okay, just come forward.
Okay.
There we go. Too much attention.
Hey, come here. I don't know. Okay, there we go.
We'll get you to...
Okay, we'll do it after. We'll do it after, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that dress is that the straps are here, but it goes, it's really, you have to wear it. So it's
Yeah, like the
model.
strap. Yeah.
It's quite complicated.
I think there's probably a big market for matching clothing with your pets.
Yeah.
So maybe there's your niche market to get into.
Yeah.
Is that the end?
That's good, yeah.
Okay.
I think I heard, Ms. Roche, that you are potentially taking another sewing course.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Well, I don't know. It's like, because I did like a sewing course at the beginning of the year. So like if Denise does like another sewing course, I may attend that because it was quite fun. Like it was really fun.
Yep. It looked like you were making more of the bags and pencil cases and things like that. This is maybe going to focus more on clothing.
Yeah.
Yep. So you have lots to already add to that. Scott, go ahead.
I actually have a question from our online members here. This is from Arissa.
Ooh, Lou's mom.
Yeah. We love your presentation, Ms. Richet, and we are so impressed that you learned how to sew. Did you find sewing the different fabrics easier or harder? And would you try to sew another outfit with a zipper again?
Okay. Well,
That's from Luella, sorry.
yeah, Lou. Well, honestly, like with this project, I didn't really sew. Actually, I did sew the Velcro, which is different fabrics, but I didn't really go into like the like different types of fabrics. So I don't really know how to answer that.
Well, you did because you used fleece, right? So that's a really thick fabric, plus the other one was
Oh
really
yeah.
thin. So
Oh, I
you
also did the
actually-
jeans.
And
Yeah, the
and
bang-
You did a lot of different fabrics.
Actually, yeah, I did. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I kept on breaking the needles with the jeans. I don't really. Yeah.
And would you try to sew another outfit with a zipper?
Yes. Yes.
You would?
Yes.
Okay.
I have zippers at home. I'm
Do
actually
you have a
planning it.
zipper foot now?
No.
No?
I can do it with it, but like it's hard to do it.
Okay. Ruby, come on up.
Amazing presentation. I was just wondering, how long did it take you to sew each not each one individually, but would they be around the same time as you sewed them?
Okay, so, well, the smaller, like the beanbags and whatever, like those took me like 20, 30 minutes, but it was also kind of like my first time sewing with those. Yeah, but the dress took me a long time, but it was also kind of like my first time sewing the dress. No, it took me a pretty fair amount of time. I'd say the dress took me a few hours. Yeah.
So a couple of hours for a dress?
Yeah, but it was also just my first time sewing the dress kind of thing too. Yeah.
A couple hours.
Like, or not a few hours, but like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really time myself. I kind of just did.
That's what I mean. You just do these things.
I don't know. I don't really time myself.
Make an hour, make a dress. That's great.
I feel like you may have started with glue gun.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well,
What have you created with glue gun as the way you use to bring material together?
okay, so because in grade 7 I did a lot of like cutting and pasting. I made like a wedding dress once. I made pants. I actually made like 2 pairs of pants, a wedding dress, or 3 pairs. I don't know. Yeah.
You made a wedding dress with glue gun holding it together?
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
It has a whole train. It literally is like,
That's awesome. Yeah, so creative. Michaela, come on.
Great presentation. I wanted to know if you were to extend your business to creating or designing clothing for cats, what the difference would be from dog designs to cat designs?
well, I've not really researched cats. I don't know. I've not really researched cats. There probably wouldn't be too much of a difference. Yeah.
Can we pass that question to Miss Ryan? Miss Ryan, can you tell us about costumes for cats? Are they much different since you had your own pom-pom as your muse?
I mean, well, I really started dressing in COVID, and now in terms of like old costumes, I have like Halloween costumes going around. And I'm bored. And I mean, like, I still do buy costumes for him. Like a couple years ago, I bought him a Santa costume. And like I think one of the big differences is the body is a lot smaller, and it kind of like I don't know, the fur is like the amount of fur on the cat is thicker. Yeah. So yeah.
So, can both of you tell us, since you do a lot of dressing up of your animals, long-haired cats and dogs, and Velcro probably doesn't work very well together. So when you have Velcro on Pablo's, that would be short hair, so it's a little bit
Yeah, I
easier.
don't struggle with that. I just have to make sure for like, actually, never mind.
So can you tell us what you did?
Okay, so I kind of said this in my presentation, but like the Velcro, yes, this one, spiky side on the other legs, because this is like, you have to make sure, because it like spiky, it hurts. It like, yeah, I don't know.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, switching. Yeah.
You had to pull a lot of cat hair and Velcro that's on?
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead, Sarah.
Beautiful work. Your creativity is amazing. When making this project, would you say it was the hardest part for the sewing aspect of it? Like, was it attaching the numbers or Velcro or fixing the machine?
Yeah. Well, yeah, well, there was a lot of like easy and then there was a lot of hard parts, of course. I don't know. One of the hardest parts I think is, wait, I'll show it. A bag that I made it just at home and I was like, oh, let's sew 2 pairs of jeans together. That was a bad idea. I broke like 5 needles doing it. But that was probably, I don't know.
Why did the needles break?
Because it was too thick and it just like snapped. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. They look great. It's too bad you broke 5 needles, though.
Yeah. It came out to a lot. I hot glued it in the end.
Okay, Miss Ryan?
Okay, in grade 7, you made a grad dress out of paper books.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us how you connected the books to the clothing?
Okay, so grade 7, had a little bit of a session with paper boats. I kind of made like 7,000 of them. So I was like, oh, what should I do with those paper boats? So I had some old dress, old shirt, so I just took some hot glue, glued it to like glued the paper boats to the dress, and then wore it one day.
Did you wear it to school? I missed that.
Yep, wore it to school. Oh, it was in grade 7. I wasn't here in grade 7, like at my old school. Yeah, for someone's graduation.
You have a picture of that person?
I have a picture. I have a picture.
I would love to see that.
I have a picture.
Come on up.
Thanks, Jay.
I have a picture.
And thanks for bringing your puppy along. I know puppy's not going to be that next to be there for long. But I'm interested because there's quite a few students that have done creative work. We've got this fashion, we've had 2D animation. I think the last presentation today is a creative process. And one of the things you said, and the others you said, I'd like to hear from you, that you learned from your mistakes. They're taught you a lot. Can you tell us a bit more about, like, for example, was there ever a point you just go, like, I'm done with this, I can't take it anymore?
What have I learned from mistakes?
So what sort of things you've learned and how important mistakes are in the creative process?
Okay, yeah, mistakes are pretty important. Like I find if like I do a mistake, like I can fix it and whatever, but like if I do it again, I'll make it like better. I don't know. It's also like improving, because like I think it was the summer of grades 7 to 8, I made another dress that like went down to here that was completely out of jeans. Not know how to sew. Took like 6-7 hours on it. One day I just kind of went to my room, cut out pieces of like his old jeans, and like, remember that? And I like made a whole dress thingy. And like, it's not really a mistake, but it's like, I can like make this way faster. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
You use the design process.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stella, come on up, please.
Thank you. Amazing presentation. What do you think would be the hardest part about like dressing up a dog or something?
Okay. Dressing up a dog. Well, Pablo's a calm dog, so it's easy to dress him up. So fast dogs, it would be difficult. But it's also like, Pablo does have like a pretty like normal body, but like if a dog's like missing a leg, it may be, I don't know, maybe difficult. Or like, I don't know, like a different body shape, like, yeah, sorry.
What's like the best costume that you would put, like the most popular outfit?
Well, actually, so in my slides, it's like, I said like the most popular Halloween. Wait, hold on a minute. I don't know. There's most popular.
I think you showed some Halloween costumes.
Yeah, I did. That's what I'm trying to find. It's like,
So Sam, have you ever dressed up your animals for Halloween?
like here, right here. Or
Would you
popular is like
maybe
ghost.
commissions Mr. Sharon for shade or yeah, you should. Thank you, Sam. I'd like a few more questions from the students. Anyone have a good one? Go ahead.
I'm just wondering, what was like the hardest thing about learning how to sew dog clothes?
Okay. Dog clothing? Well, it's kind of like similar to human clothing. Yes, the measurement. Well, it's, yeah, I don't know. Like, hardest thing, so dog clothing. Well, learning to sew. I don't know.
How are zippers?
Well, if you have a zipper foot, easy. If you don't have a zipper foot, not as easy. So if you don't have a zipper foot,
And did you do your zippers without a zipper foot?
yep. Well, actually, Denise did one of my pencil cases because, like, at that point I was like new, so it's like, yeah.
Love the presentation. I was wondering, because your dog is quite big, do you think it'd be easier or harder to design clothes for smaller dogs such as Chihuahua?
Okay, I actually have an answer for that one. Okay, what was your question? No, it was, what was, sorry? Smaller dogs. Okay, wait, yes, I have an answer for this one. Okay, so like, it is probably easier to like design like costumes for like smaller dogs and whatever. The thing I find with big dogs is there is no costumes for big dogs. Because like, for example, like this is why I wanted to do big dogs, because like, it might be easier, but like my mom bought like, my dog's not even like a big dog, And I remember she bought like, I think it was a large or like an extra large costume from PetSmart or whatever. Still didn't fit him. So like, so it may be easier to design for little dogs, but big dogs,
Why do you think there's more costumes for smaller dogs?
oh, less fabric, cheaper. Maybe like the owner demographic, I guess.
Like the owner would be more likely want to dress up their people that own small dogs want to dress them up more?
Yeah. Yeah, the cute factor.
Jua, come on up for the final question.
Yes.
Do you have any future ideas for a costume made for Halloween, and would you match with your dog for Halloween?
Well, yeah, I've had ideas. I don't know. For Pablo, I had an idea at the beginning of the day. I wanted to make him a dragon. Obviously, that didn't really turn out. But I don't know. I kind of always have like ideas popping in my head. I don't really. Latest one has been when we were in Quebec, and I wanted to make a paper mache dress for myself out of a latest one was in Quebec, and I wanted to make, for Halloween, I wanted to make a dress out of paper mache with a dispenser of gumballs in the back, and you like turn it, and then like the gumballs go down like the dress. Sorry, yeah.